Hey, for the next 20 minutes, you'll be listening to an inspiring conversation with our podcast guest. Bonus materials are waiting for you in the link in the YouTube description.
Okay, so hey, buddy.
Hey.
Good to see you in Zakopane at our conference. It's not a secret that we are good friends, and you, Alex, and your company is a trusted partner for us. So it's super nice that you decided to join the conversation today, and we could talk a bit about life and partly about the business. I was thinking that maybe first you can introduce yourself a bit and like explain in a nutshell what kind of company you run and what you do on a regular basis when it comes to the business. So
Absolutely, it's great to be here. We from Sweden really love to come to Zakopane. This is our second year here. So I'm one of the founders of Memrise.
Okay.
We work together with senior specialists and give our clients the best support when coming to SEO, SEM, and digital marketing in general.
Okay. Any specific expertise? Like, is there anything unique that you would like to talk about or explain to the people? Like, what makes your offer unique?
Yeah. So usually when you come to a bureau or a firm, you usually meet the senior specialist in the first meeting. Mm-hmm. But once you sign the contract, it's usually the juniors that actually do the work.
Okay.
At least in the Swedish market.
Got it.
So this is something that we have established a structure for. So we always make our clients work together with the specialists that we put them together with.
Oh, okay.
So we act kind of as a bridge between the company and the specialists.
Oh, got it.
So depending on if they have some sort of a niche, we actually put them together with the right company that they really want to work with.
Okay, got it. So like a good match, I would say.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Perfect. And actually, I want to talk a bit about the way how we met for the first time, because you know you know that in WhitePress we organize like the flagship conference like this one in Zakopane, but we also organized these local vibes, and one of them was in Gothenburg, right, which is your city. And I remember that I was actually pretty stressed because it was one of the first one that I was like responsible for. So I actually didn't know what to expect, and actually the event was pretty good. Hopefully you can confirm it.
Yeah.
But I remember that when you went outside after the conference, we just started like a chit chat.
Yeah.
And I remember when you told me the story about yourself and about your friends that you decided to run a company. And I'm curious about your feeling, but for me it was like the essence of events and networking, right? That it was like a total coincidence. I mean, maybe not a coincidence, right? But you came for something.
Yeah.
We obviously organized it to promote the brand, but it was amazing that we met there, right?
Yeah.
And then we went for this SEO snack, right? The side event. And I remember that we had a really good time there. I met your wife, right, and your friends. So yeah, it was amazing. And and last year you also arrived to Białka, right, to the previous edition.
Exactly.
How was it?
We ordered the tickets like 2 days before, so we didn't get fitted in at the hotel, but we did what we call in Gothenburg abrovinch. You make a solution for the moment, right? But yeah, we had a great time. We didn't even know if we were able to go, but then we got a green light from my wife. But
yeah, it's hard to.
Once I got the green light, we contacted you and we're like, yeah, we're coming.
Yeah, it was.
And still, even though we didn't live at the same hotel, amazing. I think what WhitePress is doing and also what you're doing is actually creating really good structured events like this. Mm-hmm. As you say, networking. It's so important. And that's actually where we come from as well. We believe in actually meeting the people, not only working through a screen, right? In some cases, we're able to because we're digital. But networking like this is priceless. It doesn't even matter how much it costs, right?
Yeah, we even talked before the podcast, right? And
yeah.
if you want to do like a serious business, there's no other way than meet the people in the real life, right?
No.
it's hard to handle it through emails and phone calls, right? That's not how it works. Okay. Just finishing the part of the business and the SEO. I was thinking, like, what do you think is the worst case scenario that can happen in SEO if you run the business? Like, what should you avoid when you want to run a decent business in SEO? Like, where's the trap?
That's a good question. I would say the trap is like renting links is one of the traps that some companies doesn't really actually know that they're doing for a lot. I mean, working together with WhitePress, we know that we deliver really good material. But where we're from, some companies just take like 150 Swedish crowns, which is around 15 euros a month. But then you have 100 of them. That's a lot of money. Okay. And once you end the contract with them, they just disappear.
Got it.
So I would say structure, and also everything that you do, you should own in some sense.
Okay.
That's how you fix that problem. I mean, but the worst case is, doing that, and also black hat SEO, of course. I don't really know about AI yet, because what Google says is you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, obviously.
But is it because they don't notice, or is it because it actually doesn't work?
We play the same game. We all play the same game, right? So that's obvious. And I have a tricky question. I'm really curious about your answer. Like, if you could describe SEO in a movie title.
Gladiator.
Okay, Gladiator. Okay. I was thinking about Die Hard.
But you got to fight your way up, and I mean, if you do good work, good things will come, right?
Yeah.
Like digital PR is also something that's really interesting.
Yeah, it grows right now.
Yeah. Nobody really knows how it works, but if you have a structure, you kind of know. But it's also it's a guessing game, right? Because you can't really promise the client this will give effect.
Yeah, that's true, actually. So I think in this case, the trust is even more important, right? Because if you have a trusted partner, you know that it's a kind of a not prediction. Maybe prediction is not a good word, but we know what is the reality, right? You don't know exactly the shape of the content.
No,
you don't know exactly whether your content and your link will be placed. But if you have a trusted partner, you know that probably it's going to be delivered, right? So
exactly.
That's
why networking is really important. And we have 32 partners today.
Okay.
Around Sweden and around the world, actually, cool. WhitePress is one of them. And we also work with like specialists that have their own company, or smaller bureaus or firms where we can actually guarantee that they do the work.
Okay.
So
cool. Okay, so let's forget about SEO.
Yep.
Let's talk about life. Like, tell me something more. Like, I know that you live in Gothenburg, and also actually, I want to hear the story because you're originally Chilean, right? Or your parents are from Chile. Can you tell me something more about it? Because I think it's an interesting story.
Absolutely. So I actually never met my dad until I was 27. So that's 5 years ago. During Pinochet taking over Chile, a lot of my relatives fled to Sweden. And my mom met my dad quite early during the 1990s, and when he arrived. And during a midsummer, I was conceived.
I heard about this day.
Exactly.
Right? It happens a lot, right?
In Sweden, that's when you create babies. She didn't really know she was pregnant until he had to go back. He didn't get asylum in Sweden, so he went back. And never really took the time or saved the money to actually come visit. I talked with him over the phone like 3 times before I met him. So that trip to Chile was something that I've been waiting for a long, long time.
You're halfway through the podcast and still haven't grabbed the bonus content.
I think when I was around 18,
Okay.
I was like, yeah, but I can go there now. The issue is I'm not that good at Spanish because I never learned it. But yeah, and then work, girlfriends, everything comes in between, right? So it took quite a while before I actually decided. So it was my cousin, Anton, who was like, yeah, but let's go.
Okay.
And we booked the flight ticket 6 months ahead, or maybe more. And then I met my wife around the same time. So that was one of the deal breakers. I told her, like, just so you know, I'm gonna be away for a month. But yeah, everything has gone fine since then.
Okay, perfect. So this complicated story has a happy end, right?
It has happy ending.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and speaking about your wife, and what about your family? Like you live in Gothenburg, right? And
we live in Gothenburg. When I met my wife, she already had 2 kids since before.
Okay.
So Elias and Leo. And I became a dad to a 9-year-old back then and a 6-year-old. So I got to be a parent before the growing stages, right? To see them grow up. So I had to be a parent like firsthand.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then our daughter arrived 3.5 years ago, almost 4.
Yeah, I saw the photos.
Yeah,
She's cute.
Yeah.
I'm always joking. You know, we are both partly responsible for sales and negotiations, right? And
Exactly.
you know, if you have kids, actually, that's the best way to practice negotiations. And consistency, right? Because it's
100%.
it's quite so you can use these skills in the business or the other way around, right?
Yeah.
You can use your skills from the business. And what about your hobbies? Like what do you do when you're not into SEO, right?
So I play baseball, which is quite weird.
Whoa.
In Sweden as well.
Okay. How many clubs or associations you have in Sweden?
I think it's around 5 or 6.
Okay.
So there's not a lot, but there's a lot of travel that you have to do. I used to play baseball for real, but now I more play it as I love the sport. I don't know why.
Okay.
It's so weird. But yeah, I like everything about it. I started playing when I was 9.
Okay.
There was like they did a interview with the people who has the club in Gothenburg, which was really small. And I tried it and loved it and has done it since.
I didn't know that.
No.
We've known each other for a while, but
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was actually your choice.
No.
Really.
No, so baseball, I love sailing. I don't have a sailboat anymore, but I used to have, me and a friend. So it's something, living on the West Coast and archipelago that we have is amazing.
Yeah, like a good place to.
Yeah. And instead of trying to find a parking spot, you can just go out with the boat, throw in the anchor, and take a bath from the boat. So that's our, while starting up this business, that's actually one of the goals that I have is to be able to buy a boat in the near future, hopefully.
Okay, like so you have like a bucket list, right?
Exactly.
Okay, but what about do you have any guilty pleasure, like a dirty secret about entertaining your private time? Like, you watch Jersey Shore with your wife or?
Yeah, there's a lot of TV, mostly because of the kids, or having a smaller kid. No, but the guilty pleasures, mostly hanging out with friends, actually. I love networking, even though I'm not networking. So when I did this, have you ever done a disc analysis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty popular in Poland as well. So,
Yeah.
so what's your color?
I'm 100% yellow.
Okay.
Which is, I learned a lot about myself while doing that. But what it means is that I actually get energy from hanging out with people. It's something that gives me energy rather than blue people who would be exhausted by it.
Yeah, well, guess which color is mine?
Yeah.
Yellow as well. So.
Same. That's why we come along so well, right?
Yeah.
No, but yeah. So being at conferences like WhitePress SEO Summit now is amazing. I get so much energy.
Yeah, it's interesting that on one hand it's energy consuming, obviously, right? Because you need to you basically network, talk a lot, but on
remember
the other hand,
everything that people says.
So one battery is empty, but the other battery is actually fully charged. That's that's amazing. I have the same experience. And apart from the networking here at the conference, is there anything in particular that you expect, like any expectations towards the conference, maybe like particular speaker or the expert that you want to talk to?
There's a lot. There's too many to mention, actually. Being here is also a great way, not only to work in Sweden, because Sweden is quite a small company. It's a country, but it's a rich country, which makes a lot of companies want to get into Sweden. So we want to do something that nobody else is doing, is to be the doorway in, right?
Okay.
And networking with the right people gives us the advantage to be able to actually grow on that as well.
Yeah. So here you can find a lot of people from different corners of the world, right? So it's like a good idea, right?
Yeah, and also getting a sense of where the business is heading, because there's always something happening. I mean, you could read about it online, but that's not fun. It's much easier to listen to experts who are like, I found this thing that you can do, and expand on that instead, and actually talk to the people who develops stuff, like you guys.
Cool. Yeah, that's it. That's the essence of this idea.
Yeah,
that's true. Okay, we're gonna come to an end. What about your plan for the nearest future? Like, I know that you're not gonna spend more time after the conference in Poland. You want to come back to Krakow for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
But what next? Like, business, or you're waiting for the summer periods?
Yeah. No, actually, since me and my wife is here today, we're actually talking about coming here during the summer.
Okay.
Because it's amazing. We love Zakopane. And Poland in general. It's amazing.
Yeah, I told you this a couple of times that it's a good direction, and you can find a piece of everything, right?
Yeah.
You can go to the seaside, you can go to the lakeside. Amazing place, by the way. If you go to Masuria lakeside in the north, you can find amazing places there. We have mountains and a lot of places that you can visit. So I would definitely recommend, and I hope you're gonna jump into Katowice, to the city where I live, and we can grab a beer and talk about life as well.
Yeah.
So, thank you for this good chat.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure, as usual. I'm sure we're gonna see again next year, and next 3 days are gonna be amazing. I'm sure about it. So, thank you.
Thank you.